Hey there and welcome back. I've got a quick question for you. Are you ready to take your triad playing to the next level and really learn how to unlock the full potential of your fretboard? Well, I've got good news for you because in this video, we'll be exploring the power of rearranging the notes of common triads but playing them all over the guitar neck, which will then give you the freedom to play triads in various positions, different string sets, all over the guitar neck in any key. And by mastering this particular technique of rearranging the notes of a triad, you'll be developing a deeper understanding of the fretboard. It will help you to create some fresh new ways to play over common chords and ultimately add a whole new level of creativity to your worship guitar playing. So go ahead, grab your guitar, let's dive in and discover how to make these triads work for you all over the neck. Alright, so this is obviously a video as part of our triad series. We've done a very basic video where we explain exactly how triads are formed, what they are and why you need them. So you're welcome to check that out. You'll find the link to the playlist in the description. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to take these simple triad shapes and I'm going to show you a cool way of rearranging the notes on the guitar. Most of the time when people learn triads, they kind of learn them in one position. So they might do a G, C, E minor, and a D. And you can play those as chords like this. C, G, E minor, and D. And you can even add in some delay like that. G, C, E minor, and D. Now those are triads, and I'm playing them in this instance in the string grouping 3, 2, and 1. But there's actually some ways in which you can really go ahead and really open up the whole guitar neck by rearranging the notes. So instead of playing them on strings 3, 2, and 1, I can play one note on string 3 and then 2 notes on string 2. Can you see it sounds the same as this? I can also play 2 notes on string 3 and 1 note on string 2. And then finally, I can also play all 3 of those triad notes on one string. So that's pretty cool when you have different ways of playing those same notes. And this is going to be especially helpful in some of the follow-up videos that you can go ahead and check out. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how can you actually use this. First of all, learn the notes on the guitar by rearranging them. And then secondly, actually coming up with some cool lead guitar parts. Because what this is going to do for you, many times when guitar players try and play a lead line over a chord, or a chord progression, they kind of just grab a scale and just hope for the best. They don't quite understand how to make the notes fit over the chord. And the thing is, every time the chord changes, the whole scale also changes, even though the notes stay the same. But the notes played over the chord, they kind of change and move. So it's quite a technical thing to get your head around, to understand the difference between chord tones and non-chord tones. But what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to come up with some cool lead lines when you learn how to play these triads as single notes all over the guitar. By the end of this video, you'll be able to rearrange the note of a triad, and as a result of that, it'll be opening up some new possibilities for you on the guitar, allowing you to create some more diverse melodic lines, as well as different harmonic textures on the guitar. When you are able to, it doesn't matter what key you're going to be playing in, you'll be able to pull out those important notes. And by exploring the different string combinations and the different orders in which you can play these notes, it'll unlock a wide range of creative options for you when it comes to playing lead lines on the guitar. So let's go ahead and dive into the benefits and explain how these variations that I've briefly played for you can be used effectively in your guitar playing. When you know how to rearrange these notes, it's going to help you, number one, with your fretboard navigation. Because when you learn to rearrange the triad notes, you'll be able to play on any string grouping, and not just in a vertical way like this, you'll be able to do it in a horizontal way and really connect all the different parts of the fretboard together. Most people kind of get stuck in one area on the fretboard. This is going to help you to break out of those boxes and then play the same chords and the same harmony of the song, but in any area of the neck, and you can do so in either a chord fashion or in a single note melody fashion, and in both ways you'll be able to break out of the box. The second reason for this, it's going to help you with a lot of melodic possibilities. By spreading out the triad notes across single strings, you can easily incorporate some melodic lines and single note runs in your guitar playing, and this is very useful for crafting lead guitar parts or just adding some melodic embellishments to your chords. And lastly, this is going to lead to some finger flexibility as well. Different arrangements of these triad notes can be more comfortable to play in certain contexts or better suited to specific fingerings or melodies, and that way you can choose the one that's going to best fit your situation, and that flexibility will allow you to adapt your playing to different musical situations and even technical demands. So let's go ahead and look at all of the various options, and we'll stay in the key of G. We'll also do that over a progression G, C, E minor, and D. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of how to rearrange these triad notes. All right, so if we take a G chord, we can play it over there, the 4 chord, the 6 chord, and the 5 chord. That is if I play on strings 3, 2, and 1. And I do it as a chordal fashion in terms of a vertical approach playing chords. 1, 4, 6, 5. But I can do strings 3, 2, 2, which means 1 note on string 3 and 2 notes on string 2. It's the same as if I'm playing in a vertical fashion. So when you learn how to do that, it's a great way to kind of jump out the box as well. But instead of going on string 3 where I play 1 note and 2 notes on string 2, I can also do 2 notes on string 3 and then 1 note on string 2. So instead of this, and then I can also do all of those notes just on 1 string. So instead of, I can have this. That's very important to be able to shift the notes around like that. First of all, just be able to find them. We've got a cheat sheet in the description that you can sign up for, get access to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some examples now of how I can play the same chords, but I can kind of break out the box by rearranging or repositioning where I'm going to be playing the various notes on the guitar. So let's go ahead and check it out with an example. Alright, so what I've done there as a teaching example, of course when you play this live you wouldn't do it exactly like that. This is just as a teaching example and for demonstration purposes to show you. You start with your chord and then you can either go up that, or like this, or like this. Again, the cheat sheet and the tabs in the description for you. For C, E minor, and then for D, that's a great way to kind of redistribute the notes across the neck. Let's go ahead and look at if I were to play that same progression, but I'm only going to play the notes on one string. This is very useful to be able to outline the notes on simply one string, and then that will be useful for when you are going to be playing any lead guitar parts, which we'll check out as well. So that's just a simple exercise to see, can you outline the chords on one string? Because if you can do that, then it's going to be much easier for you to actually pick some notes for when it comes to playing fills, playing lines, whatever the case may be. But this is going to kind of, it's almost like it's going to give you sight to the blind, right? So many guitarists just play chord shapes like this. They know that that's a D, this is a G, that's a C, that's a E minor, whatever the case may be. But they are not quite sure what the notes are within those chords. And when you are able to play G, C, E minor, and D, now you can redistribute those notes on one string and actually see where all those chord tones are. So let's go ahead and check out one more example where I'm, instead of going to play all the notes for every chord, like you would do when you learn the shapes, I'm just going to play some swells and some carefully placed melody notes over that same progression. Let's listen to this. So that was yet just another example to show you if you had to do single note swells over the different chords and use notes that are going to fit over the exact chord, why not just use notes that come from that actual chord? And then what we'll do in future videos, I'm going to show you how to add non-chord tones to go ahead and then just give you some melodic interest that you can use. Now this is very freeing when you can break out of the shackles of chord shapes and you can actually just find a way to play these notes on the guitar without having to have it linked to either a scale shape or just a chord shape for that matter. So go ahead, check out the description. You'll be able to grab a cheat sheet where I'll show you how to use all of these different things in your playing, and then you can go ahead and put that to use by learning how to play these different notes. Now, I'm sure that you'd agree that this is a total game changer, because by rearranging the notes of these triads, you now have the power to play them all over the guitar neck, creating unique combinations and seamless transitions regardless of the key or the chord that you are playing over. And in this newfound fretboard freedom will take your worship guitar playing to new heights and to the next level allowing you to express yourself in fresh and creative ways. So make sure you keep practicing rearranging the notes of the triad on different strings, and don't be afraid to experiment with different string sets and positions. The possibilities are truly endless, and the only limit is your creativity. Now, if you found this video to be helpful, make sure that you subscribed to the channel, because then you'll get notifications when we release the new videos within the series, and maybe they're already live by the time you're watching this video. You can just grab the playlist in the video below, because in the next video we're going to be exploring yet another triad concept that will add even more depth to your guitar playing and show you some really awesome sounding voicing. So until then, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.